For June the 16th, 2017, we talk about our favorite announcements from this most recent E3, as it were. Welcome to Level 200. My name is Cole Ross.
My name's David Maismith.
I'm Jala Prendez.
I'm Ben Merkel.
And you're listening to The Level. It's a podcast for people who love video games. Episode number 200. Unfortunately, coinciding also with some E3 coverage, so it's going to be a bit of a weird one. We do not have.
We like have, weird. It's okay.
Yeah. Weird is just fine. We don't
I
have.
feel bad for E3.
E3 knows what it did. But yeah, we don't have Dennis here, which is which sucks. But we couldn't control for that either. Yeah, Jolly, you were in town this past weekend.
Well, that's not the only damn thing. Since I've been on the show last, I ran the Spartan Super. I saw Ben in Austin. David came to Houston and we hung out. And then, yeah, I went to Cincinnati also.
Okay.
So, I mean, like, I've been all over the place doing the thing, man.
It is the primacy of recency. Yeah, no, you've been moving and or shaking. Possibly
well, I was
sometimes
going to say
at the same
grooving,
time.
but I mean,
yeah.
But I would say grooving too, because, you know, like I don't know. Was I around the last time when I had like the belly dance performances and stuff, or did that happen since the last time I was on? Because I had a lot of belly dancing going on too.
I believe you, man. I can't remember.
You can't know because it was so long ago. Yeah. So anyway, it was fun. All of the things. Umbrella term there.
All of the things were fun. No,
all of the things were fun.
It was cool having you in town.
It was cool being there.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, look,
Skyline
the
chili?
landscape. I'm vegan. What do you think?
Yeah, that was one of the first things I said is, later I'm probably going to get drunk and recommend we go to Skyline, and that's a horrible idea, so don't listen to me.
Yeah, David straight up pulled a young Frankenstein. No matter how much I yell, no matter how much I scream, do not go to Skyline. I was like,
to be fair, if you're not vegan or a vegetarian, go to Skyline. It's a great idea. But if there is nothing more sad than a vegan Skyline chili.
Oh, and by the way, I was also, of course, talking about, it was brought up about the Flying Pig, which is a Cincinnati marathon, and I was poking around looking at that on the internet, and that's hosted by Skyline, so...
We do love our pig and pig-related products.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Porkopolis.
Institution/cult.
When we went to the river, there was this like sculpture thing that looked like a pig, but it had wings and the flying pig thing, but like little kids were climbing into it. So that was interesting. I posted a picture of that. Yeah, I also posted pictures of that. So like, and listeners, I went to Jungle Gyms and I had a fun time exploring that because the people need to know. You can totally see all my photos that I uploaded on Instagram and Twitter. So feel free to poke around and look at all the stuff that I did. Also, we went and saw Wonder Woman. So yeah, we did a bunch of stuff and hung out and played some things. And we got to talk. Well, I got to see in person Allison and Sam and Simone, which was really nice. And of course, Dennis, because I'd never met him before.
Right. So yeah, now you've collected them all.
Yeah, right.
So Dennis is 100% not a ghost.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and we even went to CrossFit, which was cool. I actually got some training in when I was there. So
nice.
Yeah.
Did you meet Reiner?
I don't know who that is, so I guess not.
Bald guy who is at least 110% German.
Oh, that guy. Was he the one who was leading the class? Then I met him.
Yes.
Yeah. Then I met that guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, those are things that happened.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
You met
more exciting than E3.
Jesus, what a
sorry, I had to.
No, I totally agree. Man, what a fucking death march it is. But we can talk about it. I thought there's some stuff out of this that I'm that I'm excited about. Yeah, but I'm definitely more excited that you got to meet the actors who he got to play Dennis and his family. That was that was tough to orchestrate.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Those little those children actors were adorable.
Yeah.
They're expensive to rent all weekend,
right?
To have them on call, and then you also have to pay them for the time to get acclimated. None of them knew each other before that. So
Dennis, like Michael Mann, is really into method acting, so they had to hang out for weeks before.
Yeah. Oh man, but that feels like some banter to me.
Yeah, it was banterable.
We've got we've got a lot to get to because of the aforementioned E3 Death March. So why don't we get into it? We've got kind of the usual show. We're folding multiplayer in with the brief, and we're going to do a short whistle stop, kind of grind toward the end of this. So yeah, it's not a usual show at all. But we're going to get started with the brief, where we talk about the things that went on at E3. Go ahead.
I was going to say you should have just called it like the multi-brief or something.
Yep. Oh gosh, multi quick hit. I don't know. We used to call them quick hits. Yeah. But yeah, E3 2017 just is happening this week. And as we record, all of the press conferences have happened, and most of the announcements that are going to be out are out. This is the first public E3, and I have no idea if that actually contributed to this being a kind of lamer show, or if it is a function of E3 being, kind of phased out, in terms of, being an event where things are revealed. Who knows? But we actually asked you, or Jala posted the question, like, hey, what are you excited about from E3? And so I had each of us pick 3 things that we're kind of jazzed about, and I figure we can go
3 things.
Yeah, we can go around in circles, and I can also pull some responses as they are relevant. So how's that sound?
It's kind of funny, but like I have one that I know that should be exciting to Ben. But anyway,
it's one of my 3.
Yeah. Well, there's gonna be some overlap, and we can talk about it. That's kind of why I didn't have us coordinate, so we didn't have people talking about stuff they weren't actually that jazzed about. So I'm gonna open up.
I'm just amazed. Did anyone find 3? Like 1.5, maybe.
I found 3. I found like a lot of it's Nintendo stuff, but
I found 4.
Yeah.
Nintendo kind of exists in like the Negaverse plane for me, where like it sort of exists in our reality, but not in any sort of reality that I actually have access to.
Right. They exist perpendicular to you. So
yes.
So you said the Negaverse, so they exist in the home of the bad guys from Sailor Moon?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yep, that is.
That kind of makes my day, and I totally intended that reference, for the record.
Okay, cool.
Also, now the annoying dub theme song is stuck in my head.
Well, I'm going to get started here, and this is one that probably isn't a huge headliner, but it's one that I'm personally excited about. We're getting an actual new Metroid game.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Ollie said he was excited about that too.
Yeah. Well, why don't I just see what Ollie said? Saying, so there's a new Metroid Prime 4. I'm excited. That is not the one that I'm excited about.
Oh, okay. Which one are you excited about?
I'm excited about Metroid Samus Returns, which is a remake of Metroid 2, The Return of Samus.
I didn't see
Gotta
that one.
change
Okay,
that
grammar.
Yeah. So the reason this is probably not going to be a headliner is it's coming out for the 3DS, which is a little bit of an outmoded system. But this is, like I said, a remake of Metroid 2, which is a game that is very hard to play now because it hasn't aged that great. But it's going to be retelling that part of the story, of Samus going to the homeworld of the Metroids and doing all of this. And just today, there was 50 minutes of gameplay that was streamed on Nintendo's Treehouse. Kind of showing this. It's like a 2.5D Metroid platformer. emphasis on the 2 there. And yeah, I'm really jazzed about playing this. This is actually, Jala, you will be happy to hear this. It's done by the same studio that did the Castlevania, like the Lords of Shadow, like Mirror one. I guess.
Mirror of Fate. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
cool.
A team that has done 3D Metroidvanias on the 3DS.
Cool.
Yeah. No. So I'm pretty jazzed about this. We have a couple of other people here too, who are specifically one. Gus says Metroid Prime 4 for the Switch and a remake of Metroid 2 Return of Samus for the 3DS. Those were the announcements that actually got me excited. And then he also makes reference to a later one. Metroid Prime 4. Oh, go ahead.
So Metroid Prime, I forget, like, which was the one that got really, really weird and like misogynistic-y?
That was Metroid Other M.
Okay, so that's not related to Metroid Prime?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Jonathan also said Metroid Prime 4, so a lot of Metroid ripping.
Yeah. Metroid Prime 4 just got like a short little teaser.
Okay.
Yeah, which shrug. I'm not that impressed with Metroid. I understand people really like it, but it's hard for me to get really jazzed about it. That said, it is coming out for the Switch, and I want stuff for the Switch. So, yeah. Jala, what stuck out to you?
Well, I mostly dug into just a couple of, like, I wasn't, okay, let me just pre-pen this and say I wasn't super excited about any one thing in particular, but there are a few things that I will call out. One of which is Anthem. It looks pretty. And it also seems to have a lot of flexibility in the gameplay, which is what I like. It's basically an open world sci-fi shooter thing with co-op. You get exosuits and you can customize them and you wander around in the world doing stuff, which open world, I'm all about it. Co-op, I'm all about it, so that's cool. And that one looked pretty neato to me.
Yeah. It's kind of spooky. Oh, go ahead.
Titanfall versus the one Bungie game, Destiny.
Halo?
Same thing.
Either or, yeah.
Yeah. Like I can also see myself having the potential for getting bored at some point because of like the type of game that it is. Like eventually I just fall off somewhere, but yeah. I would have fun for a while anyway, like sinking in a bunch of hours, at least at the front part, wandering around and stuff until things started getting repetitive,
Yeah.
But it looks like it would be a lot of fun to play and derp around in for a little bit. So that'll stay on my radar.
I'm curious about it because, we mentioned this when it was kind of hinted at, but this is going to be the first new IP that BioWare has done in 10 years, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's another reason why it's kind of like, I want to check this out because it's been a bit since they've released anything, like new like that.
Yeah. So. I'll be surprised if it ends up looking as good as it looks in that gameplay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It was a little spooky, actually, like how over rendered and how over detailed some of the stuff was. Specifically, that guy's face, the main guy who talks to you.
I know that the guy that talks to you and his face is so craggy. Wow, I don't know.
He looks like Tom Waits sounds.
Right?
Ben, how about you?
I got a few kind of what we were talking about a few episodes ago. The development team that made Assassin's Creed Black Flag is making a standalone pirate game. So that's kind of like right in line with what I was wanting. So that might be cool. It's called Skull and Bones.
Notice Me Senpai?
It's called Skull and Bones, and the development team is Ubisoft plus one some city. I forget the name of it. I can't find it in the article. Anyway, it's going to be a standalone game. Still has pirate fights, so that'll be interesting. The more details come about that. Shadow of the Colossus was one of the other ones. They're making an updated version for the PS4.
Are we listing all the ones?
No. I was having us go around and do them one at a time.
All right, cut. Who knows?
No, it's fine. People knew we were going to talk about this. It's you were weirdly prescient in talking in playing and talking about Assassin's Creed 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Given that Ubisoft was doing exactly the thing you ended up asking for.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a good game. So.
Hopefully.
I really want to know how they're going to implement radio towers.
It'll just be a dude standing on the top of a tree shouting real loud.
Yeah, and Assassin's Creed, what they did is they had a lot of like boats that were destroyed with their bows sticking straight up in the air. So you climb those and then jump into the ocean.
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel like that's like the laziest way to do like the piles of straw, though. We're just gonna surround you by it. Like you can't possibly miss this effing target.
Yeah. David, what's one of yours?
Sure. So apparently there's going to be a new Monster Hunter game. I think it's just called Monster Hunter The World or something. Presumably because the world is the final monster you have to fight.
Oh, yeah. It's like Asura's Wrath. It's just Monster Hunter World.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so, like Brian Wade. Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, he all about that.
Well, yeah, he about it for sure.
And for me, this is a series that I've wanted to play since like high school, and it's just for some reason they only make it on like weird systems that exist in the Negaverse.
And that's actually what Jason Simmons replied with. Nothing really blew him away, but he's always been interested in Monster Hunter, so it's good to know that it's going to be on a console that I can finally play it on.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I really liked Phantasy Star Online back in the day. I've been told that Monster Hunter kind of captures a lot of like kind of fun, just stupid Animu grinding that made Phantasy Star fun.
Yeah. That is a comparison that I have heard as well. When we talk about this coming to a system that everybody can play it on, it was part, I believe, of Sony's press conference, and yes, it's coming to the PS4, but shortly after that it was revealed it's also coming to the PC and to Xbox One. So this is I think the widest availability that a Monster Hunter game is going to get.
Yeah, I almost feel like I wonder if it was actually explicitly that was kind of the pitch. Mm-hmm. Just because like this seems like that this is kind of the genre that a lot of people have wanted to play and not been able to, and just the fact that it is, on everything.
Yeah. No.
What about Mac? Is it on Mac?
It's listed specifically as Windows PC, so I have no idea.
Wine.
I mean, I don't know. It's a really pretty game. I don't know that Wine would be able to keep up with it.
Yeah, I have no idea how Wine works. It's all dark magic to me.
Yeah, it's definitely
from the Negaverse.
From the Negaverse.
Can we stop trying to make the Negaverse happen?
Do you want Negaverse? Because this is how.
Okay. Let's see here. Nobody wrote in with this, but I was very excited to see that Crackdown 3 still exists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
with Terry Crews.
Yeah, with Terry Crews. He's a delightful person. Yeah, it's I don't know if he's involved in the actual game, but the trailer features some really cool looking visual design. And man, is Crackdown a fun series that I would like to see them get right again.
Is my understanding that Crackdown's very similar to like a Saints Row 4 type of thing in terms of like how it plays?
Saints Row 4 is very similar to Crackdown.
Well, yeah, I guess Crackdown came out a lot earlier.
Right. Yeah, but Crackdown was like the original. Wait, okay, so which one came out first? Incredible Hulk: Ultimate Destruction, or Hulk came out first, but like Crackdown is you are a superhero super cop who can leap to the top of buildings. If you want to, so it's kind of a whole game
if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, if that's your kind of thing. Yeah. But we haven't seen anything about this for 2 years. And the initial kind of reports from people who have kind of tried it out are that, yes, this is the bee's knees, and I may end up getting an Xbox One to play it.
Oh, wow.
Probably won't get an Xbox One X because that looks incredibly expensive and also doesn't have the features that I would want in it.
Yeah, so I have to shout out to a couple of jokes on Twitter that I totally enjoyed.
Yeah.
One of which was Xbox triple Xbox. And then the other one was, it's the Xbox One X. Can't wait for the Xbox One XI, Xbox One XII, etc. So,
well, what I want to do is make one of those friendship ended with memes and say friendship ended with Scorpio and show a picture of Hank Scorpio from The Simpsons, and now best friends with 1X and show a picture of the 1X robot from Futurama.
There you go.
So,
that's a joke for 4 people.
So my kind of next one sort of segues here.
Okay.
I have no idea if I'm actually excited about Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossi, but
I haven't
do
played.
have to say this numbering convention must stop.
What do you mean? It's the second of this reboot.
Yeah, it's like I
understand it's like the seventh. It's the 7th Wolfenstein one, but like, yeah, this is like this is a sequel to like the new like alternate history universe that they set.
I need to play the first one still. It's in my backlog, so I can't be excited about that one until I play the first one, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, WoW 2.0 was kind of, I mean, it was an excuse to do a lot of things, but it's kind of an excuse to do Wolfenstein month, where we do Wolfenstein 3D, the 2008 Wolfenstein, and then the New Order, because all of those are games we'd like to go to. I've never played the New Order either. I forget who among us has. Is that you? Have you, David?
Yeah, I have. It's pretty cool. It's got some weird storytelling techniques. But yeah, no, it's pretty good.
Yeah. I've played about an hour of it.
Yeah.
It's still in my backlog as well.
Yeah.
So also, I can't quite tell if this is just like stupid journalism, like mining for stories, but apparently the alt-right is pissed about the game because it is apparently racist to white people, I guess.
Yeah,
despite the fact that your main character is a white dude with eyes like the color of, like, I don't know, like super blue eyes, like the whitest dude ever.
But I mean, but is he really? Is he really? No.
Like, he's supposed to be bullish.
I don't know. I think historically Blazkowicz is part Jewish, which might be why the alt-right is getting a little bit of their so you're telling me that regressive shitheads are concern trolling? What?
I feel like, yeah, exactly. I feel like
Cal Surprise
about games where you kill Nazis. It's like, dude, the ship sailed on that one.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Go ahead, Jala.
So a couple of the listeners were on the same page about Wolfenstein. Sam says, America needs Wolfenstein 2 more than ever now, and I couldn't be more excited for it. The trailer is absolutely nuts in the best way. And Brandon says, I'll second Wolfenstein 2. Real bonkers reveal trailer. Don't care for BJ's Cafe hipster biker jacket, though.
Yeah, Bethesda has their stuff on lock. I did not get too terribly excited about that the Dishonored 2 DLC that's coming out, but who knows? It could be really cool. They've done good with that in the past.
What was kind of like overall the general consensus on Dishonored 2?
Oh, it's a very good game. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, people kind of the collective liked it overall.
Yeah. I mean, there's. Whenever you have a sequel to an incredibly beloved game, like Dishonored 1 was, it's gonna kind of, be a little bit contentious, I suppose. But like what we arrived at on WoF is that they have a lot of they improve the actual gameplay itself a lot. But the story was just a little bit weaker, and a lot of like a retread of what they did specifically in the DLC of the first game.
Agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, it's definitely worth playing like several times because what they do with the powers and that is fucking great.
I still need to go on a replay, but I've got a lot of games on the replay backlog too.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Jala, I want to hear your next one.
Vampire, I guess.
Vampire.
Because vampire, because you're a vampire doctor who's suffering. Gee, a vampire with some kind of suffering issue. Okay. But, Hippocratic oath, but I want to drink a bloods. It's basically
leeches are a historically recognized form of treatment.
Yeah. So anyway,
not a good treatment, but
my leech is my mouth. All right. So anyway, it's based on the 1918 London Spanish flu pandemic. And apparently it's kind of got like a sort of false open world feeling to it. Like it feels like it's open world, but it's not actually. It's a little bit more on rails than that. But apparently you have to research your prey to find your suitable targets and stuff. So it might actually be kind of fun. Like I could see myself poking around in there and just, scratching that I want to be dark creature of night because I'm so evil and bad and sinister,
It's plausible.
This is, we've talked about this a little bit before. What they showed at E3 was just kind of extended gameplay stuff. But this is Don't Nod, the same people who did Life is Strange, which has me like psyched.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Life is Strange prequel? I don't quite see how that works.
It wouldn't make a lot of sense to put something after Life is Strange.
I don't know. Despite having one of the crappiest endings of any game I've ever played.
Oh, I liked the ending that I got.
Both of them.
We should stop before we spoil something, because that is a game that I firmly believe people should play and experience for themselves.
Well, you say that, but then like I was talking to Mai about it, and she was just like, "Yeah, so I've been playing this game," and then she talked a little bit about it to me, and she didn't reveal too much, but. I'm like, oh, that sounds like something I don't need to play right now, because it seems like it's a very depressing kind of thing to deal with. I don't need to deal with that right now.
Yeah, that's incredibly depressing.
Yeah. Okay.
Although sometime I want to do an extra, mainly just because I want to hear like someone else's take on the ending and why it isn't bullshit. Because I very much think I very well may be wrong, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm fine with both of the major endings actually. But it is not for us to go into here. Yeah, Vampire looks amazing. I'm pretty jazzed about that. I don't care if it's not an actual open world, but like if it's like a Deus Ex alike, which is what it kind of seems like it's being set up to be, then sign me the fuck up, please.
Oh yeah, like it like I don't need it to be open world. I mean, as I said, with any open world game, I'm never going to finish it if it's open world. Like I'm just not. Like I might have a lot of fun wandering around in it, but I'm going to wander off somewhere and forget what my whole point and purpose in life was. So it's better to have at least some kind of a rail.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like to a certain degree, I don't want to be like. I mean, they said all to be like You don't know what you actually like, but I feel like there's a certain degree to which, like, what actually being open world isn't, I think, a lot of the times what people actually want. What they want is more like in the Deus Ex games, where they're not open world exactly, but they are, they have the
sprawling
agency that people are looking for.
Right. Enough options at any given time.
Same thing with like Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah, I mean like Vampire the Masquerade is part of that Looking Glass kind of tradition. Same thing with like Prey. Came out here recently. All of those are their own little take on that. Yeah. Ben, tell me. So you started talking about the Shadow of the Colossus remake.
Yeah, they're remaking it. It's the same team that made the one for the PS3. They're porting it over to the PS4 now. So they showed a trailer of it. Looks pretty. It's more kind of indicative of like how sparse of an E3 it was that I'm talking about than anything else. But
it seemed like, so I didn't watch this event live. I didn't watch any events live actually, and that was a function of being kind of too busy and too wrapped up with a bunch of stuff to really sit down and dig in. If I was sitting down and watching this in a theater though, and if for a second I was led to believe that there was a new Shadow of the Colossus game,
Mm-hmm.
and then dicked back into like, oh, this is just a remake, I would be so upset.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's people like Nick who says, I'm really excited for the Shadow of the Colossus remaster. Never had a PS2 and never got around to playing the HD remake on PS3. But he also said, by the way, honorable mention to the Devolver Digital press conference for being everything I've ever wanted in a press conference.
Yeah, that Devolver thing was pretty great. It was like no games, just them doing stuff that is Devolver-like.
See, I think for me, what I really want from this game more than anything else is just more cover art.
Just give us some different ones. Yeah, this is a dedicated one, so it doesn't have to share billing with Eco.
Yeah. Well, if I could just get the Japanese Eco cover art and just do like that for every game, I think I'd go with that.
Yeah.
On the plus side, they can't mess up the franchise if they don't do a sequel.
True. It's not that I don't think that the remake is worthwhile. In fact, like looking at the footage, I was thinking, yeah, this would actually be pretty baller in a 4K. Like, you know, even though it is a 12-year-old game, I would like to see that running, you know, in 60 degrees at 4K or 60 frames per second at 4K. Like, okay, cool. It's a beautiful game no matter what. It's the same team that did the original HD remake. What I'm more getting at is the disappointment of, you know, without the benefit of seeing a headline before I click the video, thinking, okay, they're like, they got the band back together and they're doing it again.
This is why The Last Guardian was not good.
Everybody jump ship to make this amazing game, and Krusty will indeed get here soon. Yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty neat. And Jala, you had that one as well, right?
No.
No? Oh, I thought you did.
No.
I think she correctly predicted that I had that one.
Yes.
Yes. I also predicted another
I.
one. I also predicted another one that Ben should have. But
we will see if that gets.
Wait, are they making a new Arkham game?
You'll see. Anyway, so moving on.
Moving on. I've got one, and this is again real short because I am Switch hungry. Nintendo's bringing a Kirby game to the Switch.
Woo!
Yeah, which I am real jazzed about because I like a Kirby game. They are cute, and it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Like, you play as Kirby, but you're going around and kind of amassing a party of different creatures and stuff, and you can either have them fight alongside you, or you can do like alley-oops and have them confer their powers onto you and mix up with the powers that you already have. But otherwise, like, it looks like a Kirby-ass Kirby game, and that is something that I would actually really, really like.
What really entertains me about you saying Kirby so many times is that in the Slack, there was a discussion in the Wellness channel about how listener Tim, who, you know, I met at PAX South last year, or actually this year, shit. Anyway, he is Kirby because he eats everything.
Okay.
In sight, and so like it's been like the running joke that he's like Taekwondo Kirby because he started taking Taekwondo again after a lapse. And so like you're saying about all these powers being conferred and stuff, and I'm just like imagining Tim the Kirby with a bunch of random animals. Yeah. I don't know. My brain went somewhere else with it.
And when you say he eats everything, I'm just picturing him methodically taking apart a bookshelf and eating it piece by piece.
Yeah, it's like category Bebesi, except with eating instead of rolling.
Yeah. We call it extreme pica. Jala, what's your third and final one?
Call of Cthulhu, I guess, because it's Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, did they show that?
Yes, they did.
Oh, I didn't see that in any of the headlines. I need to go get that. I forget who's publishing that.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, yeah, it's an RPG investigation type game, and you play as a former war vet and PI who's looking into the death of an artist, and it's yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Reasons.
Way into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that is one that like everybody brought to our attention. Me and Gary saying waffle game, and I'm like, if it's good, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it couldn't be more in the pocket.
You guys have already done a one of Dark Corners of the Earth, right?
That was that was episode 3.
Oh,
I
really?
played.
Okay.
I played some of that game as a result of listening to the WAF. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I just got so freaking pissed with my character just being an idiot.
Oh man, I like that game a lot. Even when it goes off the
great
rails,
game.
Especially when it goes off the rails. Yeah, I only do to seek out that trailer because I'm really jazzed about it. David, what's your third and final?
Sure. So this is more of a question. I keep seeing these like I don't know pop up like banners for stories. Is Nintendo making a third-person shooter? I just keep seeing Mario with a gun.
No, it's man. Everybody's treating this like it's like it is Nintendo going full on Shadow the Hedgehog. It's like where they add a gun in.
Never go full Shadow the Hedgehog.
No, it is not advisable. No, they're doing a strange and probably ill-conceived crossover between the Mario universe and the Raving Rabbids universe. And in order to participate in that, for some reason, Mario needs to have some kind of rifle, which should at least be a plunger gun or the flood gun from Sunshine, right?
Wait, I think we need to reevaluate whether we might want to go with Mario doing Shadow the Hedgehog. I think that might be the better option here.
Is that off the table? Was that entirely a joke? Yeah. I don't know any other details about that because I could not be less interested, actually.
Do you think his gun fires bullet bills?
It should.
Yeah.
But to follow up, it looks like they just announced Call of Cthulhu on different systems. It's not that they had a new trailer for it.
Okay.
I took a look at it.
More people get to play it.
Yeah.
Nice. And then Ben, what is your third and final?
All right, I'm doing game theory here. Guessing what yours is going to be, Cole.
I've already done all 3 of mine.
Oh man! All right, I'll put my fourth one. I'll recommend off air to you.
Okay.
I'm going to say Super Mario Odyssey looks really awesome.
I'm Ben. You're slipping, Ben. I mean, Ben.
Sorry.
Rocket League on Switch.
Yeah.
Rocket League's going to Switch. You were looking at the Switch, and you're a Rocket League freak. Why wouldn't you be excited about the Rocket League on the Switch?
Ben, you can play Rocket League wherever you
want to.
I can play Rocket League right now while I'm doing a podcast if I wanted to.
I'd prefer you didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess okay. I did read that in passing, but that did not. I don't know. I'm at the tail end of Rocket League. My Rocket days are long behind me.
Yeah.
I'm going to be rocket
fizzling
retired.
out?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, you're going whole hog into PUBG, right?
Well, we'll talk about that later when we talk about games we've been playing.
Okay.
But no, Mario looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
You can put your hat on anything. Mario can become anything. He's a shapeshifter now.
He's a mimic.
But the cool thing is he can become anything that's in the existing Mario world. Like a fireball pops up. You throw a hat on it. You can be a fireball if you want. Or you can be a dinosaur for some reason. They have dinosaurs now. I don't know why.
Hat on it.
Wait, didn't they always have dinosaurs?
They have like Jurassic Park style dinosaurs.
Yeah.
That was their cold open for the trailer for the game.
I'm really excited about the apparent ability that you have to go full like 2D sprite art on a wall.
Okay. Yeah.
You see that it's a little bit like Zelda: Link Between Worlds, where if you want to, or I guess you have to for certain things, he just becomes an old school Mario sprite running along a wall like he's painted onto it. Yeah, I am, and
it's curved dimensions, just like in Super Mario Galaxy, where you're like running around a wall like a turret.
Yeah.
You throw your hat on Bullet Bill, and you can just fly around as Bullet.
Yep,
killing things. Why not?
Yeah, this is a day one purchase. It absolutely has to be. Like, these new details are exactly what I want. Although this does have some, let's say, shocking implications for the lore, which is that all this time, I don't think Mario has ever been the man that we see, the man type thing. I think literally Mario is a dark passenger that is the hat, right? Exactly. I think that he moves from body to body. And this is a game about the hat's awakening, as we see by the fact that it gets eyes.
Also, breaks backwards
in
compatibility.
Well,
you put a hat on the snowman in Mario 64.
Oh
yeah, I was going to say, in Mario 64, if you lose the hat, you take like double damage. That's why.
Yeah.
Because, the hat is your phylactery.
Mm-hmm.
He's normally taking half of it for you.
We're in this together, man. Yeah. No, I'm very jazzed about this. Yeah. And we had some other people, I believe, saying here, Mario XCOM is interesting. I don't know what that means.
I think that's the one with the crossover with Raymond.
Yeah. Yep. And there was some big stuff that we didn't quite allude to. And we can look at some of these. Like there are some people who were talking about the X1, which I don't know. It just kind of seems like a stopgap between a PC and an Xbox to me.
Yeah. There's also Kingdom Hearts 3, which I haven't played Kingdom Hearts since the first Kingdom Hearts, but it looks like they've added a lot of new battle mechanics since the first game, and from what I've seen of the play of the second game, there's even like a giant Colossus battle, and like there's some really crazy battle stuff that they were releasing of the gameplay at this event. And Michael Prenz said too that his wife is excited enough for it for the both of them. So with surplus excitement for everyone else in the room. So
nice. Yeah.
Simone gave a shout out to the Spider-Man game. I don't think we mentioned that.
Yeah, that looks really good. Yeah, and it looked really good last year. I wish that so much stuff that we saw this time wasn't just stuff that we also saw last year.
That's the different Spider-Man this time, right?
Yeah, it's the one that's based on Homecoming. So the Spider-Man that we saw in Civil War.
Okay.
Yeah.
David gave a shout out to the Assassin's Creed prequel.
Yes, David Petroga said Ubisoft did so the new Assassin's Creed looks good enough to potentially get him to get another. And then he also mentioned the Mario XCOM.
I really hope, in order to you know that you're going to have to climb to the top of the pyramid in order to unlock a vista or something.
I'm just really slide down the pyramid.
Yeah, I was going to say, I really hope all that it takes to get to the top is you just have to get enough of a running start and just kind of run up the side.
Well, if they go if they go full accurate, it's not going to be climbable on the outside. It'll all be lined with limestone and gold.
Yeah, that's why you have to get the running start, because it's just all momentum.
Yeah. John writes, XCOM 2 DLC is the only sure thing for me, but I'm keeping my eyes on Beyond Good and Evil 2. I'm not holding my breath on that because we've seen a trailer for Beyond Good and Evil 2 before.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was a pretty trailer.
Yeah.
Well, and Graham says the Age of Empires remaster is a personal godsend. I love the original Age of Empires game, even more so than its more popular sequel. The original is an RTS from 1997 and doesn't play great, so I'm expecting this remaster to add in better UI. I'm also hoping for a resurgence in custom map and scenario development that would really do it for me and re-solidify Age of Empires 1 as one of my favorite games. He also says it's also pretty cool that Undertale is being ported to PS4 and Vita. I can play in a room with people watching now.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, Undertale is a great fit for the Vita.
I need to play it. I still have it in my backlog. I got to do the thing.
It is very good.
Didn't the XCOM team, didn't they make some announcement with the new sort of XCOM they're making?
Not that I've seen. I know that
Project Phoenix or something.
The only thing that I saw was the new DLC, but I don't have any context for that. Yeah. Thomas Connor also wrote about the Spider-Man game on PS4. and Franz in talking about Beyond Good and Evil 2 just says something about Krusty's impending arrival, ... He didn't even have the enthusiasm to do the third dot.
And Greg is totally a man after my own heart, because his response was, E3 is going on? Huh. I stopped caring years ago. Let me know when something actually comes out and I can buy it, and then I'll get excited. That's really honestly my boat. Yeah. I mean, like, I can be excited 3 years. My attention span is not long enough to really fucking care that long out. And like when it's around and it's like time, then I'll be excited about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Although we asked what you were excited about, not whether you were excited.
Yeah. So, exactly. This is true. Yeah. He's excited about nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm a nihilist. I'm excited about nothing.
that must be exhausting.
Well, Patrick said that it's still a ways out, but I'm really glad they announced that they've started working on a core Pokemon game for the Switch.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, like it's an RPG. Yeah.
Which I think that officially makes the Switch now a mobile platform.
It's both, baby. And that's why I like it. Yeah.
So I actually kind of like Evan's answer that he is simply excited for the white tuxedo Bowser amiibo.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm down.
If I liked amiibos, I would totally be down there with you too. And then our final response here was from Michael, who said the most exciting in concept is Star Wars Battlefront 2. The ability to play across 7 to 8 movies worth of battles is amazing. It's too bad I lack the requisite decade of Call of Duty training to be able to compete online. Lol.
Yeah.
See, I'm hoping for the ability to play across 7 to 8 movies in like a single map.
Oh my gosh! So
just have portals.
This changes everything. They're not prequels and sequels. They're all happening simultaneously, and there are multiple versions of all these characters. That explains Luke and Luke. Or I guess Luke and Big Luke. I think Luke is a clone of Luke. God, this is stupid garbage.
I know. I just want to see the Ewoks try to take on an AT-AT.
Jala, you were saying something?
Yeah, something that was mentioned in the level Slack but did not make it to the actual Facebook comments was Dragon Ball Fighters, which is with a Z at the end of it.
And there's also a question mark.
he should have. But anyway, it's cel shaded. Looks to be like a 3D rendered but a 2D fighter, kind of crazy looking fighting game. I don't know if I'm excited about it or not, but I mean, like, there are people who are like, hey, it looks pretty cool. Yeah. So I mean, like, if you're down into like the Xenoverse stuff, which I played like an hour of once, and that's about as far as I got with that. But if you're into that kind of stuff, then this is probably something you're excited about.
Yeah.
So,
Xenoverse is kind of like a weird sort of pseudo blind spot for us, that I know there's like a real super dedicated.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, but I mean, in terms of like, I know there's a dedicated like fan following that's really into this series, and I think you've played the most out of any of us at an hour.
Yeah, well, the thing is that I was streaming it when I was doing it, and a couple of people were watching, but then like. I don't know. The voices were so horrible that like Trunks sounds like he smokes 5 packs a day. I mean, like, I don't even know. There's just like, it's crazy. And so I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But my dude's name is Boo Boo in that game. I should load it back up and play Boo Boo some more. I'm sure Boo Boo would like it better if I would go back and play it. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I think that's all we have to say about E3. This was kind of who knows? It feels like it was a little bit of a wet fart. A lot of the big stuff that we've seen is stuff that we've seen before.
Yeah, it really was. Like, I kept on looking up trailers and stuff, and I'm like, damn, 2016, and I have to specify 2017 because so many of them were shown before.
Yep. Yeah.
Can we even really call it a wet fart? I mean, I'm not sure it's even earned wet.
That's a popcorn fart, yeah.
There we go.
I don't know. It's But I guess I'm genuinely excited about the 3 things that I brought, but again, like one of those is a thing that I saw before, and 2 of them are just me being excited that there still continues to be developer interest in these weird Nintendo franchises that I have affection for.
So I was gonna say, on the bright side, maybe it's a good thing that developers have like an extra year to work on the games they're working on. So maybe it'll produce higher quality games when all of these actually do come out.
Yeah. And I can say this here because I'm among friends. I'm really happy FromSoft isn't announcing like I guess Kingdom Souls or something like that. That would really bug me a lot, actually, if they did that. So yeah. Cool. Well, that's a brief, and that's a multiplayer. It sounds like. Any final thoughts from everybody else?
No.
Okie doke.
The grind.
Now it is time for the grind, where we talk about the games we have been playing over the past week or so. I can come right out ahead and say I've continued being remiss, especially because I was playing Host this past weekend.
We played some Resident Evil 6.
We did. Then that was going to be my next statement, which is I will just pile on with Jala when she talks about the co-op corner.
You also freaking trashed us at Mario Kart.
Oh yeah, but I beat his ass the first time, but you weren't there for that one.
Right,
so.
Yeah, no.
Picture it didn't happen.
Well, I mean, no, I can attest to that. I'm willing to say. So I rolled up Bowser, and then Jala rolled up King Boo on the...
It's all about Boo. Boo and Boo Boo.
All about Boo.
Boo, 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 boo.
Yeah. But yeah, this is what, Jala, that was the first Mario Kart game you had played since the Game Boy Advance one, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. And you roundly defeated me, but then after we switched up, I started.
Once I switched characters, that was like the end of it. So.
Yeah.
Is
there? I must be this Boo.
Are there Switch controllers that are not like a controller for ants?
Yes, there are. What you saw was or what I had you play with was a Joy-Con, which is actually like one of the things that is supposed to slide into the side of the thing. It is a feature that you can pull that out and use it as its own kind of NES like controller. But yeah,
not gonna lie, Joy-Con sounds like a sex toy.
Yeah,
it does.
Yep. But yeah, that is kind of a stopgap. I think it's cool that it ships with the ability to play simple two-player games.
Yeah, and it actually controlled pretty well with that overall.
Yeah. But you can get like pro controllers if you're one of the 5 richest kings in Europe. Yeah. But what'd you think of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Jala?
It's a Mario Kart game with more characters than the last one that I played. That's what do you want me to say? It's a Mario Kart game. Yeah. I mean,
and that's about all I said the last time too. Yeah. So I can't fault you.
Well,
for
I mean, like, remember I was giving you shit when you were like, anybody have any questions? I'm like, it's a fucking Mario Kart game.
I was just trying to be helpful.
I shouldn't be giving you that much shit, but this is my role in life. Okay, so anyway.
Yeah. But we also played Resident Evil 6, and I know people are going to immediately start reaching for their phones and saying, "But you didn't stream it." We were just hanging out. I didn't want it to be a production or just be on. But we did the first 2 chapters of Leon's campaign.
Yep. We did the thing, and then it was refreshing because I was like, oh, I have been playing in New Game Plus with all of my weapons and all of my shit from the last time I played so often, because like since I first played the game, this is the first time starting fresh with like nothing.
Yeah.
No skills, no weapons, no nothing. And I'm like, okay, I know what happens, but damn. So
yeah.
Man, I'm soft, I'm squishy. This is not so cool. Wow.
So first 2 chapters, is that like the university and then pseudo Raccoon City?
Yeah, it's like the university, and then you go into that weird, shitty underground mine tunnel temple thing below the cathedral.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
Temple,
So it's not the street
lady. Oh, the street stuff was in the first part.
Yeah,
the first 2 chapters are really long. So it's the university and the sewer / subway or whatever, and then the city streets. For the first chapter, and then the second chapter is where you're in the graveyard and the church and the weird underground lab / Temple of Doom or whatever with the booby lady.
Yeah, with Deborah. Yeah. But no, I had a lot of fun. We were just playing split screen on my Steam Link. And
a fun fact for anybody who is co-oping this game or wants to co-op this game, if you co-op over the internet, everybody gets their own stuff. But if you are split screening it, the pickups are only for one person. So only one of us could pick up any particular thing that was there on split screen. So it made it worse because it was like, oh, half of our items, half of the items you normally pick up if you're playing co-op on the internet.
No, so I didn't notice the difference. I was just having fun, like, coordinating that. Like, you were pointing out, like, hey, there's something over here, or I would call it out. Like, that just added another level of, like, communication on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was a good time. I was surprised at how long those chapters are, actually.
Oh, those first ones are really fucking long. And then 3, 4, and 5 for Leon are a little bit shorter than that because those first 2 are like 2 hours long. And the ones after that are like an hour and 20, hour and a half, something like that. And then Chris and Piers, each one is about an hour. And then Jake and Sherry, about an hour or 45 minutes. And then Ada's are all like really, really short. So they all shrink, as you go through the rest of the campaigns. But that Leon's, especially at the start, they're really long.
Yeah.
So Chris and Pierce, their campaigns, when it's not just being crazy, super, super drag.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. I think the only campaign, I mean, this is just from my memory, the only campaign that like is really even in quality is Sherry and Jake.
Yeah, they're fun.
So that's my favorite campaign.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
Yeah. No. So that's what I've been playing. That and some stuff for WoW. But yeah, it makes sense to segue to Jala. What else have you been getting into?
Well, let's see. Did you mention that we played Jackbox with Sam and Allison and Simone?
No, I did not. Also, we
also did that.
we didn't stream that because again, we were hanging out.
Yeah. Well, and then other than that, I played some of Transformers War for Cybertron with Greg and Graham.
That's supposed to be really good.
Yeah. Well, dude, I have been playing this game. That's one of those games that I play a lot with whoever happens to have it. And like, it's their first time, and it's a 3-player co-op. We are almost done with the Decepticons campaign, so we're about halfway through the game at this point. Like, the next time that we play, we will be doing the end of the Decepticons and probably the beginning of the Autobots. And it's literally split in half. The first half you play the Decepticons, the second half you play the Autobots. So, yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with that because, that's a game that I really like to play, and I haven't played that one with as much frequency as some of the other things. So,
yeah.
And also the other thing that I've been playing is Sniper Elite Zombie Army Trilogy with Sam. And that one is basically like Left 4 Dead, except with, like headshots, and it's more difficult for sure. And man, it's hard to play it with 2 people. I mean, like, at least for me and Sam, we put it down on really easy difficulty, and we changed the number of enemies that spawn to just being the number of enemies that spawn for one person. And we're still having problems with it. I would love more people to play this game. So like, when it's on for Steam Summer Sale, please more people pick up Zombie Army Trilogy. I want to play this game with you. It's awesome. It has skeletons. You should play it.
I'm trying to convince Dennis that we need to get in on that because he really wants to do a survival game run, and I feel like that's pretty close.
Well, that would be fun to play, and I would absolutely like to play it with more people than just Sam. Nothing against Sam, of course. Like, he's my constant gaming buddy, but like, we need more people. We need more bodies. So do this game with us. It's great.
Yeah.
So more bodies, not zombies.
Yeah, this is true. So that's Co-op Corner. Other than that, I played all of Sorcery 4 the last time I was on when I got bored of Kole talking about, Mario Kart and trying to describe Mario Kart or whatever the hell he's talking about. I was literally in the App Store, and I was just like, okay, so
good to know.
Hey, Sorcery 4 is a thing. Hey, I flat out said it on the show.
Yep.
It's not like was a surprise to anybody. Like I wandered off. So anyway, I picked that up, and I had a long adventure trying to recall what my continue code was, because the last time I played this game was like 2 years ago, like the last section of it. But like I had taken a screenshot of it, and I archive all of my photos and stuff from my phone. So I literally had to go through all of my phone photo archives.
So you had to do forensics.
Yeah, so like to get it on my removable hard drive to pull out the code. And what's ironic is that I wasn't sure if I remembered it, but I thought I did, and I actually remembered the code without. But I verified it, of course, by looking at the screenshot. But anyway, I played start to finish after realizing, about it. Like I said, I kind of got screwed due to choices in the earlier installments of the game. So I didn't get the best ending, but I'm also not going to go back anytime soon to redo the whole game because, like I said, I have a backlog of stuff I have to replay.
Right.
So that's not like, it was fun, and I finished it up, so that's cool. I don't really have a lot to say about it because it's like more of sorcery. I mean, what to say about it? There's not really a lot.
Is 4 the last installment?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's the last installment. So that was cool.
Nice.
Also, I played a little bit of probably Archery and Kole.
Oh, yeah? Did I buy you that?
Yes.
Okay.
You gave it to me after I talked about Archery feeling good in Vermintide.
Okay.
So I opened and played it a little bit. Okay.
Okay, good.
While I know that any number of elements go into the consideration of archery in the real world, there's a point where it stops being fun in a gamified system. Like, you have to adjust, like, your wrist and the tilt and your elbow and all this other shit just to, like, shoot an arrow. And never got, like, I sat there in the target practice mode, like, trying so hard to just shoot anything. It was great. And I never actually got good enough at it to manage anything more than that. Though I did open up an attempt to duel, and I attempted horde mode and other kind of random game types that are built into it. I don't know. There were eggs flying in a kitchen. I don't know what that was about. And I don't know, some other random things that were going on. And, it was kind of funny, like, to open it up and try to do the duel or the horde mode because, like, you see these barbarians with, like, apples for heads off in the distance, and they're, like, raw, running at you. And meanwhile, I'm, like, trying in vain to get my arm adjusted just so I could, shoot him. And before I could do that, he just runs up to me and go, poof. That was the end of that. I'm like, okay. Well, that was fun. So that got uninstalled, but I did play it for a little bit anyway.
Yeah, that's really funny. I forgot that I had done that. A basic description of probably Archery, in case somebody didn't hear that episode. It is kind of a surgeon simulator approach to an archery game. So, like, it's intentionally very awkward to control. Yeah, but you are doing
there's a lot of chest breaking.
Yep. Yep. And also you have to shoot the heavy weapons guy from Team Fortress. Yeah. No. It's like a $3 game, and I was like, oh, Jala would like this. So, yeah.
Thank you for that, Kole. But it wasn't like, to the extent of going, I can't believe I'm playing that. No, like, I was just like, what in the ever-loving hell? And you probably would have gotten a kick out of just watching me try to figure out what the hell I was doing. I mean, like, actually what was going on screen probably wasn't as entertaining as my face.
Yeah, so. You're probably right. Yeah.
So, okay, and the last major thing that I've been playing is a game called Last Word. It is an RPG with a battle system that is built around conversation. And it was originally created in 30 days for IGMC 2014, where it earned second place. And it's an RPG Maker game, so, like, it has that kind of a look to it. You play a character named Witty Gossip, and she is a Photographer who is invited to a dinner party at the home of Chet Chatters, a linguistics professor who wants to demonstrate his new invention to his guests. And the device is called the Mouth, and it's supposedly capable of winning any conversation in history. So your goal is to uncover a bunch of different mysteries about the estate and the other guests and stuff through conversation duels, gossiping, and poking around. The game is separated into investigation mode, where you walk around and chit-chat, and then conversing, which is the dueling system.
Yeah.
So the battles are always between two characters, or at least so far as I've played. And you have 4 different bars to manage on your screen at that time. There's power, tact, collected, and then your win-lose meter. And these are all influenced by the types of comments that you make. You can choose one of 3 different types. Disruptive, which increases your power and moves you across the win-lose bar. Like the less power that you acquire, the further you move on the bar. So like, it's one or the other. Submissive, which lowers your power but increases your tact. So you have to build up with disruptive before you can act submissive and then get tact. And then aggressive, which lowers tact but increases your movement on the win-lose bar. So basically you need to build up power and tact and then go all out and, get aggressive.
Yeah.
And for each of the different comment types, disruptive, submissive, and aggressive, you have 3 different degrees of severity, subtle, common, or overt. And that gives you like different levels of gains and losses for each of those different things I mentioned. The collected meter is basically a block bar, to use a fighting game term. The less collected you are, the more effective attacks are. And if you get too flustered, then it's auto game over in some situations, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Your opponent will get movement bonuses on the win-lose gauge, depending upon how upset you are. And you can lower an opponent's collected bar by disruptive or aggressive comments. Yeah. And you can equip different skills in the game by gaining bow tie points. So bow ties give you skills. And
I'm just picturing a person just completely festooned with them, like they're just a general's medals. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was really, really hoping that you would see actual conversation exchange during the battles, but no go on that. It's just the meters. But then again, if it had more than just those meters, then the text that would show up in those battles would get really repetitive real quick, and sometimes it wouldn't make sense. And, especially for the time limit within which this game was created, they just didn't have time to fuck with that,
Yeah.
But so...
It's a little bit of a bummer that it's a game about conversation that seems, I don't know how much writing there is, but within the actual combat system, that it's not just kind of I wouldn't even care if it got repetitive. I just would have liked to have seen that as another vector for characterization,
See,
there you do have options in investigation mode to chat with everybody and have conversations with them that are not battles. So I'm you do have that kind of characterization and that degree of writing, but I was kind of hoping that I'd see, say for example, how does Seymour talk when he's doing his thing? What is his kind of disruptive comment versus Witty's commentary? How do they approach the same thing? Because that would have been really fun to see, I think. So I was kind of sad that wasn't a part of the game, but
if you're looking for that, look at Undertale, Jala, because the pacifist ways of dealing with enemies is to pick from a group of options about what would appeal to them, and a good deal of figuring those battles out is actually learning what their preferences would be.
Well, have you looked at Oh Sir?
No.
It's basically the full title is Oh Sir, the Insult Simulator. It's basically you get in a argument with someone else, and you have a selection of 5 different parts of your insult, and so there's subject matter, subject, and then comment, things like that. And then you can also, it sort of works like the Dark Souls message system, where there's you can come up with templates. And so basically you have to go back and forth and try to build up these insults. And then likewise, you can uncover like certain characters, have different things they're sensitive about. So you get bonuses if you mention those and things like that. Similarly, there's endings. So
yeah, like I looked it up, and it's on Steam and on iOS, both for $1.99, regardless of which platform. So that might be a thing that goes on my phone to fuck around with whenever I get back to playing on my phone.
Yeah.
So to give you an idea of some of the examples, just going from like the things you can see in the Steam. One of them you could construct might be this bloody pet shop, and all those animals farted on your father, and you can't deny it.
That's it's like magnet poetry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm just picturing building a template. Your mama so blank that she doesn't blank a blank. She blank blank blank. I don't know.
Good day.
Yeah, good taste, sir.
Another one that I'm that's only sort of tangentially related to that, but is also about words to a certain degree, is a game that is on my list of stuff to eventually pick up and play, called In Verbis Virtus, which it's a couple of years old now, but basically you have a mic and you use the mic to cast spells. And so it's like an adventure action first person type of game that like you cast spells by actually speaking the spell words or whatever. But it was, of course, some of the stuff that I've heard about it that are kind of mixed. Like it's overall got positive reviews, but the voice recognition is similar to the dictation app, which, if you don't say it very clearly, enunciate it very clearly, then sometimes it fucks up and doesn't recognize what you're saying. Yeah. So if you have any kind of really strong accent, you probably can't play this game very well.
To be fair, the sorcerer gods of the silver and gold moon also demand precision in your incantations.
This is true. Yeah. So anyway,
it's like Pygmalion, but with more lightning bolts.
There you go.
Yeah. Nice. That's a lot, but it has been a while since you've been on.
Yeah, it has. So there you go.
Yeah, and I know you have another one you're saving for later, but I'm very excited to talk about it because it's a game I always like talking about.
Well, you'll get your chance next week. Spoiler, I'm on next week, guys.
Yeah. Ben, you said you said that maybe PUBG is not your Rocket League replacement. What is?
I've been playing Friday the 13th some more.
Yes, you have. I've been seeing you pop up on my Steam thing.
It's been fun.
Nice.
It's I haven't had as many server issues. There's a few games where it'll crash at the end of the game after the game's over, so I'm not too disappointed with that. But yeah, no, it's pretty fun. The community's pretty fun because a lot of people role play as the counselors.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's an
like
interesting aspect of the game.
As the counselors would just be running around screaming.
Yeah,
well, also trying to fuck.
Okay. Well, doesn't that describe, like, just throw in some racist comments and don't you have most multiplayer chat?
Yep.
I don't know. It seems like a happier take than that.
Yeah.
One of those. I don't know. But no, it's been a lot of fun. Like a lot of it's like coordinating on trying to figure out like what other people already have and what you have and like how to escape. So a lot of it is trying to figure out how to call the police is like a pretty good strategy because there's a 5-minute timer on that. But as soon as they're called, then you can go. Anybody can escape, and they don't need a vehicle or repair anything in order to do that. So it's a pretty quick way to get everybody out. And also, like I've been learning ways to deal with like the Jason and like be able to like hide in a house and try and avoid getting killed by him. Most of the tactics just involve running and jumping through windows.
Yeah.
Because he cannot get through windows. But
I watched you play a little bit of that for a little bit on Sunday or other sometime. I requested to watch your stream of it on Steam. So I took a peek.
I think it auto allows like anybody to watch anything that I'm playing. So were you able to connect it?
Yeah, I was connected to it, and I was watching you wander around and do your thing for a little while. I wasn't sure if you actually knew I was there or if I was just like creeping.
It'll send a pop-up notification. There's like a chat and stuff, but you have to like tab out of the game in order to do the chat. So it's not exactly the easiest thing to do.
No,
but,
it's yeah. A lot of times it's not really worth it to like it's better if you're like on voice chat with them or something. Like if it's not a co-op game and if it's a single player and you're just like on voice chat and then they just watch your stream on Steam and that's fine. But yeah, streaming on Steam is not always awesome, but you know it was working just fine that time. So
nice.
Yeah.
Looks
fun.
Yeah.
So
it makes me think of Damned too. Like it makes me think that I need to go back and play Damned since I'm not going to pay $40 for this game yet. But like,
no.
Yeah. I'm hoping it goes on sale for the summer sale, and then I can probably force it upon people. But
yeah, you made a really compelling case for it last time. Yeah, and because nothing comes out in June, and nothing I want comes out in June, I may have leftover game budget, and you know, a lot of that will go toward paying down student loan, but $40 is reasonable if you have a lot of money left over. So
Steam sales, I think it got leaked. I don't know if we didn't cover that story, but I think it's supposed to start around the 22nd or so.
Oh,
like that. So
nice. Yeah, it's usually PayPal that leaks that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How does PayPal know?
Steam has an arrangement with PayPal for the Steam wallet.
Well, see, like I would be excited for the Steam sale, but I have a lot of medical stuff going on right now, so like I have far less than zero money right now. So I would like to say yes, I would totally get this game, and especially like, oh my God, Cole's gonna play a multiplayer game. I got to get in on this, but like, you know,
we'll see what goes on sale. Yeah. What else?
I was going to say the other fun aspect that's cropped up with this, and this is more on streams that I've watched of it than games that I've played, is people role playing as Jason and like either as Jar Jar Binks or as Mickey Mouse when they break through a door to try and kill someone. It's very confusing but very enjoyable.
Wait, is there in-game voice chat?
Misa chop you?
Yeah, okay. I much prefer the Mickey Mouse version of that.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah. Huh. No, this sounds badass to me.
Yeah, and the way the voice chat works is you can talk to people as long as you're next to them on the map, or if you have a walkie-talkie, then you can talk like any distance away.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. What else have you been playing?
That's it.
Okay.
Cool.
David, round the bend with us. What have you been up to?
Round the bend?
Yep.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's appropriate. So, not surprisingly, still continuing Warframe. I've now got a frame that literally has an aura of damage, so I can literally just like stand on the objective and win. So I have now reached maximum grind.
Is that
passively succeeding?
Is that fun?
It's honestly, it's one of those things that like I'm not gonna do it all the time, but like occasionally it is fun to run a mission where just like anything that gets within 20 feet of you dies.
Yeah.
So I mean it's a sometimes fun.
Yeah.
So other than that though, I've gone back into Skyrim pretty heavily, and I still think most of my old criticisms are pretty accurate, just in terms of, I think a lot of the level design's not so creative, and I feel like kind of it's interesting stuff to do really kind of pales in comparison to like New Vegas. That being said, I do think I somehow kind of got unlucky the first time I played it, because in that case, it was basically all just like clearing out bandits and like, bears and crap. And since playing it this time, I've now like become a werewolf and been tasked by some sort of weird like head talking god to cleanse some place and I know there's just been a lot more just interesting, weird stuff happening.
Mhm. I mean,
David, you'll be excited to know that Skyrim is coming to Switch and VR. That was part of the E3 stuff they were talking up.
Yeah, they're really milking that 6-year-old game, aren't they?
Yeah. So continue.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Like that's the thing. I do have to say, I think there's this game makes this and Fallout 4 make a strong case for, I think it should just be a principle of game design that crafting should not be on the same level up system as combat skills.
Okay. Can you go into that?
Well, just because like I kind of like crafting, like it's kind of fun, actually making your own armor and upgrading and gathering supplies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the innate problem is since they can't assume that everyone's going to do that, like I'd be pretty much better off just it innately either crafting either A breaks the loot system by allowing you to craft things too early, or B is entirely worthless because anything you craft you'll just find in the dungeons anyways or on vendors. And so it's like there's innately no right way to do it.
Well, no, I mean there's no right way to do it, but it lets you decide which system you want to engage with, right?
Yeah,
like
I
crafting,
guess
crafting gets you access to powerful stuff. You put points into that at the expense of something else. Being really good at combat, so you can go and take bigger risks for your level, gets you good stuff as well, off the back of it. But if you want to play primarily as like a gatherer or be a little bit more cautious, crafting is a way for you to engage with the different system.
Yeah, I think for me, like I could see if you wanted to like solely focus on crafting. And I could sort of see from like a pseudo like role playing standpoint that could be fun. It just seems to me like I'm pretty much I would say probably focusing on crafting about as much as any like normal game playthrough would, and the problem is that just I'm just, unless you explicitly power level crafting, you're going to level up just in the course of getting the loot fast enough that by the time you've unlocked a new material, you probably have been able to buy it in the store for a trivial amount for a long time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's either a tuning or a focus problem.
Yeah, that could.
I also wanted to make the counter argument that like the game also tunnels you through fighting missions. It doesn't tunnel you through crafting missions. So that kind of, it would be nice if there were equally valid strategies, but
I mean, I think it's tough. Like that being said, like I do like I like a lot of the armor and weapon designs are pretty cool. I like that there's a lot of like the different cultures will have weapons that are statistically the same, but are that culture's like take on a piece of armor or whatever. Things like that. So I'm enjoying it. I didn't play with magic much the first time around, and I'm really enjoying that. A lot more of that in archery. The melee systems just seems a little too clunky. I don't know. I guess Ben, you played this more than anyone. Like, does
stealth archer is the
does like blocking ever become?
I blocked with my face when I played that game.
Yeah. I feel like there's a block mechanic, and like. I don't know, it's the type of game that like I'd really like to be like get a badass shield and be like, shield guy, because it's super like Barbarian Simulator the game. The problem is you aren't really fast enough to, or at least as far as I've seen, to be able to like block in response to an enemy's attack. And you still take at least some damage when an enemy attacks and you're blocking. So I haven't been able to figure out like what the actual purpose of it is.
Yeah, I knew that you could use it as a strategy, but I never actually tried it, so I don't know. I have not climbed that mountain.
Yeah. So, but other than that, I think that's kind of the most of it. I'm still there's still a lot of like weird, just kind of the NPCs, stuff like that is still just kind of weirdly written a lot of the time.
Oh yeah,
which is mostly entertaining.
Yep.
But
yeah, how did you get past the giant spider problem?
Fire. Lots of fire.
I know you're bugged by spiders, and
he burned his house to the ground and then played it on
Kart.
another console.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it hasn't been bothering me as much this time around. I don't know if just kind of I've become acclimated or what. I will say, like, the combination of having a portable flamethrower in my hands kind of helps. And also, like, focusing on stealth a good deal makes it a lot more manageable.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Also, Jolly, you should know that wasn't intentional, but I'm happy you caught me and called me out on it anyway.
Yes, it's my duty.
Cool. Well, that sounds like an episode to me.
It is an episode.
Yeah. Do y'all want to button it up?
Buttons.
The credit.
zippers.
No,
zippers. Yeah, we're not going to change this in
It's
200.
buttons.
It's part of Jala's brand at this point.
It is.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Level 200. It wasn't because of a confluence of events, it couldn't have been the big blowout that we expected it to be, because we kind of had to address E3. But it still feels appropriate in a lot of ways. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening, especially if you've been here since the early days. It is remarkable that we have reached episode 200.
The days when we were talking about Dark Souls the first time.
Yep. No, it's crazy that we're at episode 200. It's crazy to think back to like when we were begging people to write in for multiplayer. And now we have just so many great people who participate and communicate and listen, and it just really feels great. And I don't think that I'm speaking out of turn when I say it's good for all of us, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I guess so.
And also we had a Jala, like you were there for episode 100 as well, but like we have a new member of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been around since some time.
Yeah, since forever. Yeah. So, yeah, it's all good stuff. Because of that, I'm not going to do an awful lot of the admin, the usual things. All I will say is we just announced some big changes to the Patreon.
They're kind of cool.
Yeah. Pursuant to the previous discussion about like Bonfireside Chat ending, but like there's some things that I'm really jazzed about being in there, like an extra episode of extra episode of Abject Suffering per month. Different things added to the goodie bags that we're sending out. We're working on a zine. It's going to be a good time. So go check.
Part of your abject suffering is trying to pronounce all the things that you were just trying to pronounce and having a hard time with.
Life is suffering. Yeah, I'm also very tired.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's go check that out. It's the announcement is up at patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. See if anything there floats your boat. Pretty much all of those changes are going to be taking effect on July the 1st. So you have time to look at it and consider and do all that stuff. We don't want to surprise anybody. Is there anything I'm forgetting, or does anybody want to say a thing?
I always want to say things.
Do you want to say a thing?
I always have things to say.
Yeah.
But anyway, you're tired, so we need to go.
Yeah, we probably should. So For the 200th time, approximately, I have been Cole Ross on, I've been Cole Ross at Cole Ross on Twitter. I got the order messed up.
I have been David Moneysmith on Moneysmith777 approximately 200 times. On
I
Twitter.
haven't been here for 200 times, and I'm not exactly just on Twitter. I'm just in places all over as Jalatron.
I'm Ben, and I haven't come up with a joke for this. At Merkleiser.
And stick around for some titles.
I love how we presented that as we wanted this to be something cool, but we had to do E3.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it was kind of underwhelming, so what are you going to do?
Sure.
Yeah. So I've got a couple of titles.
Okay.
I have E3 Knows What It Did. E3 Death March. Ubisoft plus some city. And my leech is my mouth.
It was Ubisoft Singapore, by the way, was the city. I looked it up.
Yeah. Who else? Ben, what do you have?
I just have one. I have He Looks Like Tom Waits Sounds.
Okay. And Jala, how about you?
Put a hat on it.
Okay.
And Pygmalion with more lightning bolts. And Round the Bend. And I blocked with my face.
I also have I blocked with my face.
And bugged by spiders.
I missed that the first time around.
Yeah, that's why I thanked Jala for catching it, even though I didn't intentionally throw it. And then I have two. I also had I blocked with my face. I also have All About Boo.
Yay! All about Boo. For real. Boo and Boo Boo.
So the two that I am kind of most jazzed about are, so I like E3 Knows What It Did, because it matches the subject of the show, and also plays into the joke that episode 200 had to be about this because of timing. I also like All About Boo.
I also like E3 Death March.
Yeah,
I like
feel
Knows What It Did or All About Boo. Either one of those is fine by me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would tend to vote for E3 just because of how that kind of cast its misery over
Dark
the entire
shadow
episode.
over the entire thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, E3 Knows What It Did. Oh,
Yep,
and also the
it
title
does.
is going to be E3 with Knows What It Did.